Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we decided to start a SONday Chronicles. Chris and I talk about some pretty interesting things on a pretty daily basis. Discussions based around what we've learned, discovered, and basically ran into on our current journey on Earth. So, Chris, I know, is messing with the camera. It's cool. So we thought we'd share some of those discussions in kind of like a Q&A, question and answer live video. Why live, you may be wondering. Chris doesn't know what I'm going to ask or bring up, so we'll get his true opinion or we'll see what he really thinks. So here we go. So the first question, and again, Chris has no idea what these are. What is, in a human, true individuality?
Going within to discover your true identity. I think that when we're born and we're indoctrinated into the world, it's kind of tough to find that. I think that you're through the indoctrination told what to do and who to be and how to be, and compared to other individuals. I think it's one day that you figure out, I don't like this shit, and I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say what I want, and it's something within. We live in a world that is beautiful, and it's also fucked up at the same time. True individuality or the individual is normally that one that is different, and that's a tough road to hoe. There's a lot of judgment involved because of it. The world's set up one way, yet there's another way. The individual is simply being yourself, following your heart, listening to your intuition, being still and listening for guidance. There are not any belief systems in being an individual. It's something you have to self-work through and basically unlearn everything that you've been taught. And through time, it takes a lot of time to find yourself, as they say. And in finding yourself, you find that you become the person that you want to be, without fear, and with respect to everyone else. You understand that everybody else is going through their own path. But being an individual is tough. But being an individual, following your heart, and performing your purpose on the planet, regardless of the circumstance.
Cool. All right, so then the next question I have for you, if you're ready,
Sure.
is let's this is more of like a discussion point. Let's talk about the current state of the world, the earthquakes, hurricanes, etc. And why do you think this is happening, and what does it mean?
I think that the world in and of itself, I think the people that make up the world are going through an awakening of some sort. There are specific individuals you'll see throughout social media, throughout the world, who are awakening to the fact that something is wrong. And the earthquakes, the floods, the volcanoes I just read about in Bali. The earth is a live being. Universally, all of this planets and stars, and they're all beings. They breathe. I mean, you can check NASA and see Earth breathe. Earth is also going through an awakening, and dimensionally, that's something you'd have to look up yourself. And There are a lot of things we'll talk about later on that go along with that. But Earth is waking up as well. It's evolving. And
that evolving hurts sometimes.
very painful. Very painful to self-discover. A lot of people that think enlightenment or an awakening or
it ain't unicorns and rainbows,
yeah.
as a good friend once said.
It's not unicorns and rainbows. It's fucking suffering and facing your fears. That's a big one. That's self-work is paramount. And
but how does that all? How does the Earth? How is that being reflected on the Earth right now?
It's being reflected in the Earth doing its thing. You know, unfortunately, people have to die. Unfortunately, you know, states have to be destroyed. Unfortunately, 240,000 people have to be evacuated from Bali. You know, here in Texas, we had Houston go down. It's terrible. But when the Earth is awakening like it is, just like the human being is going through an awakening process, it's tough. So Mother Earth is going to go through her trauma and pain and suffering, and she's going to let us know with fierce winds, volcanoes, and fires. It's basically on the East Coast water and on the West Coast fire. And everywhere else, it's starting to shake up as well.
Okay, last discussion point. Throw this one at you. Let's talk about reincarnation. That basically, what's your take on it, and do you believe in it, etc. What do you have to say about reincarnation and what you believe it is?
Yeah, we've all been here since the beginning. We are energy. We vibrate at a specific level, and as you evolve, you'll vibrate higher. There are a lot of so being energy, it's always been, and it always will be. It can't be destroyed. It is, and universally, if you can look out universally and realize that everything is what some people like to call God.
As above, so below.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can look deep into the depths of the ocean. You can look all the way up. Everything's super connected, and when you have that mindset, and that takes a lot of self-work as well. It takes a lot of self-work to get to a point. You know, whether you're in the selfish state of your life and you're wanting and desiring, and you're following that indoctrinated path of go get it, you know, fuck whoever else, and get your money and stack your paper and all that, or you're going to suffer because it's never ever going to be enough, or you're on the spiritual path and you're walking your path and it's a selfless thing, and your purpose is going to be selfless in some form or fashion, but you'll benefit from it financially eventually once you're able to vibrate up and match that. The reason I wanted to go through all of that is because it's energy. Reincarnation. Everything is the thing inside of you that animates you. Is your spirit. Your spirit is energy. There are different realms. There are 7 billion people floating, or 8 billion people floating around this planet. Balls of energy. And I like to equate these human beings here like the cosmos, like the planets, like when you're forming a new system that's going to crash, boom, and then eventually it starts to evolve around the sun. And what's happening on Earth with that specific thing is that people are crashing right now. Ideas and philosophies and beliefs, and people comparing and people hating because
Labeling.
somebody, labeling, completely different from. So reincarnation, yes. It's very real. We've all been here before. We've all fucked up. I'm sure. I don't really, I'm not concerned about who I was or who I'm going to be. But right here, I'm right here and now. You know, I have an opportunity to talk to people all across the world about it. And so yes, reincarnation, it just is what it is. I mean, you're learning. There are different stages you have to go through, whether you were a gorilla or a fish or a raindrop, as Johnny Cash says. What song is that?
Highwayman.
Yeah, Highwayman. Whether he's a raindrop or, those are different things. They're all, whether you were wind at one point, whether you were rock, which is the original stage of creation, you experienced it all. And as you start to evolve here, you'll start to be aware of these things, and you understand. It's scary for a lot of people, and I get it. But yeah, energy is energy.
Cool. Well, that wraps up 3 questions. So hope you enjoyed if you got a chance to watch. And we'll be doing this probably once a week or even more. Just kind of depends. So much love. Thanks, guys. Let's turn off your phone. Is it off? Just turn it off. Still live? Dang it. We got to figure out how to turn this off, guys. I didn't want to be on camera.